Well, greetings, everyone. This is the Monty Man. Today is a very special show honoring the memory of a dear friend. Please, when you get to the end of the broadcast, don't stop listening. There's a very important message for you at the end. And now, here is the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show, remembering Just Ray.
They tell me you've been talking. You don't like the way I'm walking down this road of recovery. I know what you've been saying. It's just a game I'm playing on my way to reality.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Come here for a minute. I want to talk to you. Mama says you're brain dead, bang your head against the wall. Can't find peace of mind, brain needs an overhaul. Bonehead, brain dead, we're all the same. You can't think straight when your heart is in pain. Turn around, hit the ground, time to lay your burden down.
The views expressed on this broadcast of the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show are those of the co-host and guest and do not necessarily reflect those of our affiliates. The topics and opinions on today's show should not be considered as medical, psychological, or professional advice. Take 12 Radio is not affiliated with any particular 12-step fellowship. And now, here's your host,
the man, the myth, the legend,
the Monty Man.
Telling you the truth, man, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Cheetos.
Good guys, bad boys, we're all the same. Saved by grace is the name of the game.
Turn around, hit the ground, time to lay your burden down. Cheetos. Cheetos.
I brought Cheetos.
Say it. Go ahead. Say it.
The cheese that goes.
Crunch.
Boom.
But I bought a variety box.
Listen.
Yeah. Who moved your cheese?
Was that really a jingle, though?
Cheetos, the cheese that goes crunch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
you guys
Chester
were messing
Cheetah.
with
No,
me.
No, Chester Cheetah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Take 12 Radio Show.
I thought you guys were
welcome.
joshing me.
No, it's true. Tony brought in a box of a variety pack called Party Mix. 32 single bags of crunchy little, tasty processed food snacks. Cheetos, the crunchy kind, because they have the soft ones, right? Where it gets all over your fingers.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
But these are yummy because they go,
Like that.
yeah. What's the
I
cheese
like
little-
the soft ones.
Do you?
When they get stale, stop it. If only you could see it all.
I'm going to have another.
Oh,
We
my God.
really need to get that video camera back.
Well, this was supposed to be kind of a somber show, but I think my friend Conley
Yeah.
would be laughing right along with us. Conley, you want a Cheeto? I'll send one up to you, buddy. We'll throw it up there into the clouds, and you can have a Cheeto in heaven.
Amen.
Wow. It's stuck in my denture.
Can hardly wait.
Well, this show is entitled Remembering Just Ray, and we're starting out a little lighthearted because this is not always easy to do a show like this.
Yeah.
Our good friend, Conley Ray White, helped put Take 12 Recovery Radio on the map years ago. Conley is no longer with us, and I'm going to be talking about that a little bit here in a minute. But this guy really was a pioneer in recovery music. There's a few of them. Michael Purrington, Tony Morosi from Self Esteem. And Conley White is definitely, and there's others too, but these are ones that stand out to Take 12 Radio quite a bit. We used to go to the 12-Step Music Fest in Key West, in Florida Keys, every year, and Conley would go, and it was just an amazing group of musicians, and this show is in honor of him and all those who have impacted our lives within the recovery community. And so we're going to be listening. We're dedicating this show to Conley, and we're going to be listening to 7 songs of his. And a couple of them are kind of somber. The other ones are kind of fun. And we're just going to have a good time with this and remember our friend. But before we really get into that, we've got to complain about something, right?
Stop right there. It's time for Monty Man's Weekly Wine.
The baby.
The baby whines, and so does Tony today. Tony's got hers, and then I got mine. And Denver, if you'd like to chime in.
Oregon weather.
Oh, yeah, he hates Oregon weather. We just got back from Arizona last week, and the weather was really nice.
It looked amazing.
It was warm, and yet there was a nice breeze. Phoenix was a little too hot for my taste, but we were in a little higher altitude in Prescott area. But then we landed back in Oregon, and Denver.
There it was.
You go, we're back in this
The fog and the doom.
God-forsaken state. And I'm like, I love it back here. Yeah. All right, Tony, let us have your wine there, kiddo.
Oh.
Deep
do
breath.
I even...
Deep breath.
Okay.
Try to keep it short, though, because we've got a big show
Short,
to do.
because we have songs. Okay,
Yeah.
we need to burn Lynn
Careful.
Say it.
Careful.
down.
You're a veterinarian.
My veterinarian. So, long story
Don't
short...
do that to the cord. You'll break the wires inside.
Sorry.
She's so upset. She's tying the cord, the headphone cord in
So,
knots.
take my cat in because he's dying.
Your
'cause
cat
he's old.
Lucifer is
Lucifer.
quite elderly.
13.
13, okay.
Made an appointment for 3:30. 2 hours later, I walk out with my cat in a box. My dying cat. So that's the short version of
2
it.
hours later.
Yeah. When
And
people
most of
went
the time,
before me.
most of the time you were sitting waiting, and people went that didn't have appointments, and you got called before you did, and your cat's very sick, and so
Yeah. So he's going to die at home.
yeah. Well, maybe that's better.
I know.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so you just didn't feel like they were taking you seriously, right?
2 hours is a bit to wait.
That's a bit long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous, especially when people are just walking in and going before you.
Yeah.
I'd be
You
whining
had
too.
an appointment, right?
I'd be mad.
All right. Well,
Well,
that's legit.
it is legit. So Tony's going to burn them down. Burn them down. Let's give him some fluffies. There.
That'll teach him.
That'll teach him.
That'll teach him.
Well, I got one.
Of course.
So I'm. Sometimes city ordinances can be really stupid, and so Denver and I were at an event last week where we had our booth set up, and as we were this will make you feel better, Tony. As we're setting up our booth. There's, those really cheap plastic chairs that they use at events. They're really lightweight, right? We had 2 plastic chairs that were provided for us for our booth that were extremely lightweight, almost light as a feather. And we leaned them up against the tree where our booth was going to be at. Mm-hmm. And we were approached by 2 ladies that said, oh, no. We do not lean things against the tree.
Against the tree?
Yes, do not lean things against the tree. And we're like, okay. And so then they proceeded to tell us other things that we couldn't do.
Oh, this gets better.
Oh, yes. And then a gentleman came up and said, you need to pick up your water bottle off the grass. You can't have anything on the grass. Well, our booth is on the grass. Our chairs are on the grass, our table's on the grass, and the pop-up tent that's been provided is on the grass. But we can't let our water bottle be on the grass. You know why? Because you have to have a, 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch?
2 inch is the maximum touching the grass.
Yeah.
2-inch.
Like 2-inch by 2-inch block. You got to
have to put your crates or your bags on blocks.
Right.
That are
you kidding
elevated.
me?
That are elevated off the grass, and the blocks
Oh, my
can't
word.
be bigger than 2 inches each.
Right.
Now here is the part that got me, because I'm a crafter and I set up tents
Right.
at festivals and things of such. You can't put a nail or a spike into the ground because you're liable to hurt the worms.
Yeah.
All right, I want everybody.
Did they really say that?
I want everybody to grasp that. We're playing music at warp decimal sound waves.
Right.
They actually said that?
And the worms are going to be disturbed by our 4 to 6 inch spikes in the ground.
Right. Which you put into your pop-up tents to
hold them down.
To hold them down.
Right.
Well, they got these bags that weigh a ton that you're supposed to tie on to your tent so you don't have to
like
use
sandbags?
spikes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is a
That's what
smart
they are.
idea. That's a smart
Yeah,
idea. Some
it's a
people
great
use
idea.
milk jugs, but you can't put spikes in the ground because you might hurt the worms.
And the bags can't touch the ground.
The bags can't touch the ground.
I think
You've gotta
Prescott really
hang 'em.
needs Hope Fest. Mm-hmm.
They need some hope.
They need some hope. I mean, and it's just, and your backpack, even while setting up, you can't let anything touch the ground. I'm like, what are you supposed to use? A hovercraft?
How are we going to make this work?
How do you set up?
Well,
And we were told that we could be fined a pretty hefty amount.
are you serious?
Absolutely serious.
And quite frankly, my shoes take up more than 2 inches when I'm on the ground.
Right. And there are 6,000 to 8,000 people walking around on the grass. That's
could hurt
okay.
the worms.
That's okay. But you can't. Your water bottle can't touch the grass.
Prescott.
I'm telling you.
I'm sorry. It was just absurd. It was ridiculous. And there were some other ridiculous things that went on that
I
weekend.
can't believe they're going to fine you for that.
Yeah, and it wasn't Hope Fest. It was the city of Prescott.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the city of Prescott. And yeah. Come on.
Prescott.
I mean, it's like, I thought it was a pretty conservative state, but I guess somebody from Oregon is the mayor now or something like that. I don't know.
Well, that's a mistake right there.
I don't know what's going on, but it is just freaky. But it's flying saucer country too. So.
It was a slight annoyance.
I'm
but
actually at a
we
loss
pulled
for
through
words
it.
about this.
Huh?
I'm actually at a loss of words about this.
Yeah, it's beyond ridiculous.
So are the worms.
So here's a win. Thank goodness. All right, so we had the honor of Denver and I both attending a completion and graduation ceremony for some of the guys out at the Adult and Teen Challenge Center. Michael, Jorge, Dalian, and Greg all either moved up to another phase or they graduated and or completed their program. So that's always fun. I mean, you get to see guys' lives change and I couldn't believe Michael's little music performance. That was...
He should sing more than he talks.
He should sing more than he talked.
Yeah.
He was
He has
actually
a beautiful
good.
voice.
He was actually really good and very entertaining.
And I want to give a shout out to Augie.
Yes, Augie.
He couldn't make it, and he's doing well out there in the world. He
Right.
went through the program, and things are working for him now.
Right,
So-
right. And it's just a marvelous thing. It's wonderful to see the guy. It's not going through the Adult and Teen Challenge program is not easy.
No.
It is challenging. It is difficult. You are going to learn patience and tolerance,
Amen.
or you're not going to survive it.
I like the name Augie.
Yeah, Augustine.
That's going to be my
Is
next pet's name.
Augie.
Augie.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, remembering Just Ray. So don't go away. You don't want to miss this. This is some phenomenal stuff. We'll be right back.
Turn around, hit the ground, time to lay a burden down.
This cough just won't go away. Why am I so out of breath from doing simple chores?
These are symptoms of a serious chronic lung disease called COPD. If you're a smoker or ex-smoker over the age of 40 and experiencing symptoms, see your doctor and ask for a simple lung test called spirometry. The good news is the earlier you get treatment, the more you can do to improve it. Don't ignore the signs. To learn more, visit bc.lung.ca.
Well, welcome back to the show. What?
Cheetos.
He's trying to eat his Cheetos.
I like my Cheetos. Well, our dear friend, Mr. Conley Ray White, passed away at 63 years of age, Saturday, September 22nd at Northeast Georgia Medical Center. Conley went home to be with the Lord due to complications surrounding COPD. COPD is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It's a chronic lung disease that includes things like bronchitis, emphysema, or both. It affects the lungs and causes reduced airflow, which makes it hard to breathe. It is also progressive, which means it worsens over time. People that are smokers are very susceptible to this. And, of course, you don't have to be a smoker to get it either. But Conley passed away due to complications of COPD. And this is what Conley says, and I just love this. He says, "My name is Ray." That's his middle name. "Just Ray. The rest isn't important. If you're in recovery, I'm sure my story is no different than yours. I pray that this music, this CD, gives you gratitude for the past, encouragement for the present, and hope for the future. If you're one of us and not in recovery, I pray you realize you're not alone. There is hope and there is help if you choose to seek it." Conley White, a.k.a. Just Ray, has worked for years as a professional staff songwriter for Nashville music publishers, including Sony, Cross Keys. He has had 64 songs that were recorded by artists such as Lonestar, Hank Williams Jr., Davis Daniel, and Brooks and Dunn. Along the way, there have been several top 10 singles, such as Fighting Fire with Fire, The Wish, Another Perfect Day, I Ain't Singing That Song, and John Doe on a John Deere. Conley was also a regular performer at Nashville's world-famous Bluebird Cafe. He devoted his talents and energy to recovery and being a pioneer in recovery music. And he really was. He was one of the guys that really started this whole thing. People picking up their guitars and, doing a few little ditties before the meeting or after the meeting and getting together and doing jams and things like that. And his talent was amazing. And like I said earlier, he helped put our radio show on the map. So here is the first song for this show that we're going to play that Conley wrote, entitled, "We're Glad You're Here." Here's Conley Ray White.
In the basement of the church around the corner, quietly I found myself a seat and held on to my little cup of coffee, early admitting my defeat. They talked about some steps and some traditions and some promises I didn't understand. Feeling out of place, I walked toward the back door. Then I heard the gentle voice of some old man. "We're glad you're here, 'cause we've been there. And it's hard to find someone who understands enough to care. Put down your pain, cast out your fears. We've all been there, and we're glad you're here." I walked back in and sat right down beside him, listened as someone poured out her heart. thought about my past and my condition, all the years of living in the dark. She talked about her fears and her confusion. I listened as the tears rolled down her face. I realized I felt what she was feeling. When she finished, I heard someone say, we're glad you're here, 'cause we've been there. And it's hard to find someone who understands enough to care, put down your pain, cast out your fears. We've all been there, and we're glad you're here. We've all been there, and we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here, 'cause we've been there.
Does that kind of stir up memories of your first meeting, Tony?
Actually, James and I were talking about that last night. It's so weird you say ask that and that song played, because you don't remember the feelings until you hear something again.
Right.
Or listen to a song again, and
Right.
then you're like, oh my goodness, I remember that. And it's hard for people outside the box to understand, like,
Because they've never experienced it.
yeah. the heck you go through.
You know, it's something that...
And look, I'm jittering because that song touched me so much.
Yeah, because it really speaks to a shift change, a change of dynamics. I mean, if you've been used to being beat up and unwelcomed and, oh, great, here's Uncle Joe again. He's probably going to ruin Thanksgiving, you know, all that kind of stuff. And you walk into the rooms of a 12-step support meeting and you're treated with welcome arms, like this song would suggest. And I'm not saying every meeting's like that, because they're not. But certainly we've experienced ones that were, and that's the.
But
for
songs
instance,
like that need to take you back to where you came from.
They do,
because you have to remember those feelings. I think. Look, I'm still jittering.
Did you feel welcome in your first meeting, Denver? That you ever went to?
Oh, I was a little nervous.
You were nervous,
yeah.
Kind of like in the song, they're going to sit by the door, and
you know, you walk into those rooms, and it doesn't take long normally to realize that they've been there too.
Yeah, you bet.
So,
well, this next song is a little ominous.
What does that
oh
mean?
boy,
kind of. What's ominous? Explain ominous, Denver. Kind of dark,
overwhelming
Oh,
to a
okay.
point.
yeah, a little overwhelming, a little
Emotional.
dark.
Yeah.
And it speaks to the disease of alcoholism. It speaks to
You're gonna make me cry.
Possibly.
Well, here's a Conley song, "The Living Dead."
Oh Lord.
Well, if you don't mind, could I get you to turn off the noise, boys? With your siren screaming, it sure is hard to think. Now let me see, was it yesterday or the day before? How long has it been since I had a drink? I got a cardboard box for a home down on the riverfront, and I walk the streets begging for my sanity. I rode the bottle all the way down here to the bottom, and ever since then the bottle's been riding me. Somebody get a gun and shoot that snake crawling up my leg. Lord, it's scaring me half to death. And There's a madman running around and around and around, wild inside my head. Somebody give me a drink and deliver me from the night of the living dead. I think I got a wife and a boy somewhere here in Tennessee. Yeah, I used to be a fine, upstanding man. The preacher down at the mission tells me I got a disease, but out on the streets they say I ain't worth a damn. Well, somebody get a gun and shoot that snake crawling up my leg. Lord, it's scaring me half to death. There's a madman running around and around and around, wild inside my head. Somebody give me a drink and deliver me from the night of the living dead. Well, either give me a drink or give me a gun, but deliver me from the night of the living dead.
It takes me to that place it talks about in the AA literature about you're at a point where you can't drink, but you can't not drink. You're trapped. And it's like, somebody shoot that snake, man. Somebody do something radical to help stop this, because I can't stop it. And you're stuck. You know, and it paints, we know a guy that just left the center, an elderly gentleman that walked away just last week, and I just got word that he's back on the streets, thinking people are chasing him with guns and all sorts of things. I talked to our friend Butch that's over at CR, and he told me, yeah, he called him up, and he's hallucinating, and it's alcohol-induced psychosis.
They found him?
Yeah, they found him.
All right.
They found him.
Good. He got found.
He got found, but he's out on the street. You know, he's got a box for a home kind of thing. Right. And the insanity is he had a safe place to be, and he walked away. And because the snake in this story, or the dog, is the tail's wagging the dog. The rattle is controlling the snake, you know.
Yeah, that draw is crazy.
It is.
It really is.
It really is crazy. Yeah. So in the spirit of it doesn't matter in the beginning when you first come into recovery who your higher power is or who you think it is, as long as it's not you. In the spirit of that, because it talks about in the literature, whatever, you know, you could choose any higher power you want, you know, as long as it makes sense to you. Because in the beginning, you may not know. You just need to be willing to believe in something other than you.
Find something.
Yeah. So Conley's song, Just Keep Calling, really points to this. Don't give up. You know, if you can't figure out God or your higher power or whatever, just keep calling. Check this out.
Some folks call me all the time, and that's all right with me. Some I haven't heard from since May the 14th, 1983. They call me God, they call me Jesus, higher power and Jehovah. I'm listening when you're flying high, I'm listening when you're falling. Call me what you want, just keep calling. Some ask me for healing, but they don't really think I can. Some ask me for miracles, 'cause that's the kind of God I am. Some folks pray for answers, and I don't want to make them wait. And though I'm seldom early, I'm never late. They call me God, they call me Jesus, higher power and Jehovah. I'm listening when you're flying high, I'm listening when you're falling. Call me what you want, just keep calling. I'm listening when you're flying high, I'm listening when you're falling. Call me what you want, just keep calling. Keep calling, just keep calling.
So if you don't got it all figured out, that's okay. Just keep calling on your higher power, because I really believe, and don't you guys agree, that he'll make himself known to you if you just are willing and open to listen to his voice.
Amen.
You know.
Amen.
Yeah, and you've come a long way with that, right, Tony? You were like kind of grew up in a kind of a punishing God kind of thing, and but you stayed open minded and to what God was in your life, and now your relationship with God is totally different.
It's still growing, and I'm still trying to like figure things out.
Oh, me too. Yeah,
everything like that. I mean, I'm not the perfect Christian like everybody, you know.
God, I hope not.
I ain't got it yet.
But I know I have to always ask for help, and that's always been my biggest fear, is asking for help. But I love that song because it tells you just keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I mean, you can't go wrong if you keep doing it.
Are you the perfect Christian, Denver?
Jeez, I'm not even going to step to the plate on that.
Right. And Conley would be, I knew him well enough to know that Conley would be the first one to say that he certainly wasn't. And but his love for God it ran very, very deep. And in some of the discussions we would have, he was a very conservative man. He loved God with all his heart, but he was the first one to tell you, I ain't got this down. Which brings us to this next song that Conley wrote called "In the Good Lord's Eyes." Very powerful.
I was down in the back seat of a 62 Chevy. There must have been 10 white robes around that burning cross. I said, Daddy, what could make those men wanna whip another man that way? He shook his head and we drove off. And he said, everybody is a poor black man in the good Lord's eyes. I heard somebody talking down at the plant the other day. Said we ought to send these foreign folks back home. And any damn body else that don't belong here. But if we did, God would be alone. 'Cause everybody is a homeless man in the good Lord's eyes. In the good Lord's eyes, we're all sisters and brothers. In the good Lord's eyes, we ought to love one another long enough to let the teardrops dry. In the good Lord's eyes. I was watching the TV when the anchor man came on. Said, I'm coming to you live from the east side of town. He was standing in front of a dumpster behind a shopping mall. And it broke my heart when he told us what they'd found. 'Cause everybody is a newborn baby in the good Lord's eyes. In the good Lord's eyes, we're all sisters and brothers. In the good Lord's eyes, we ought to love one another long enough to let the teardrops dry. In the good Lord's eyes, maybe give the tears a chance to dry. In the good Lord's eyes.
Yep, in the good Lord's eyes, the playing field at the foot of the cross is, it's level. It's just level. Hey, so you guys have all heard what other people think about us is none of our business, right? You've heard that statement when we get all uptight because somebody's saying something about us or accusing us of something that's not true, and our sponsor comes along and says, you know, what they think about you is really none of your business.
I hate that
right?
one.
Right.
It gets to be my business.
Yeah, exactly. We make it our business.
If I don't watch it.
If I don't watch it. Yeah. Well, Conley wrote this great song, really about that very topic, and it is simply entitled "None of My Business." Check it out, Conley White.
They tell me you've been talking, you don't like the way I'm walking down this road of recovery. I know what you've been saying, it's just a game I'm playing on my way to reality. I don't need your opinion, self-righteous decision on the kind of man you think I should be. I don't need no witness to my spiritual fitness. Ain't none of my business what you think about me. It don't matter if you're not buying, simple fact that I'm just trying to regain some happiness. So go ahead with your condemnation. Self-assured evaluation makes you feel you're better, I guess. I don't need your opinion, self-righteous decision on the kind of man you think I should be. I don't need no witness to my spiritual fitness. Ain't none of my business what you think about me. I don't want no trouble with you. We've all got our crosses to bear. You're entitled to your point of view. If you don't mind it, I don't care. I don't need your opinion, your self-righteous decision on the kind of man you think I should be. I don't need no witness to my spiritual fitness. Ain't none of my business what you think about me. Ain't none of my business what you think about me.
And that's the name of that tune.
None of my business.
Right? I know.
It's just none of my business. It really isn't. I used to think it was, but, you know, what can I say? Hey, listen, you don't want to miss a little thing I'm going to tell you after this next song, because I'm going to tell you how you can win 2 of Conley's CDs. Well, you can't win 2. 2 people can win 1. So I'm going to give away 2.
That's confusing.
Yeah, I'm going to give away 2.
I hate math.
So we have 2 more songs for you. This one's a pretty moving song. This is about the guy who's out there. Maybe he was in recovery for a while, and he's given up.
Oh, no.
He's just given up. And we know people that have done that. Mm. You know, it just gets a little too hard for them, or they hit a wall and they haven't been able to let go and let God give them the power or the strength to continue for whatever reason. Maybe their addiction or their alcoholism, whatever, has taken the toll so strongly that they don't have the ability to choose to do the next right thing. Maybe there's co-occurring mental health issues going on, but for whatever reason, they've given up. This song is called All That Never Was.
I got the call from a voice filled with sorrow. It told me you gave up the fight. I hung up the phone, sat there in a wonder. Did you really even try? I filled my truck and headed south to Georgia, the longest drive I ever made. Then I saw the sun come up over the mountain, and I knew there'd be brighter days. So here's to all that never was, and here's to all that might have been. If the good Lord watches over rebels like us, I'll be seeing you again. Daddy took it hard, Mama took it harder, my sister took it like a wife. We stood there in silence as I held on to your daughter, and we each said our last goodbye. Here's to all that never was, Here's to all that might have been. If the good Lord watches over rebels like us, I'll be seeing you again. I know the good Lord is watching over us, and I'll be seeing you again. I got the call from a voice filled with song.
And the truth of the matter is, we bury way too many people before their time that have entered the rooms of recovery, and they gave up the fight. It doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. And I'll tell you, we have a job to do within our 12-step circles, particularly where there are people that are mentors, spiritual advisors, and sponsors. You need to step up to the plate. If you've been in the rooms of recovery for a while and you haven't been working with anybody for a while, maybe it's time to get back on that horse, because it could save somebody's life. Because we can't do this thing by ourselves, can we, Tony?
No,
we can't do it alone.
Not at all.
No, we just can't. And Conley was very, very aware of that, and that spoke to that in this song, All That Never Was. All right, so you want to win one of Conley's CDs, because before we play this last song, let me tell you, this is only half of the songs that are on the CD. The CD is entitled Learning to Live Again, Just Ray. So the way you do that, you need to be the 5th and 6th email. The 5th and 6th email. So you need to email me at Take12Radio, that's TAKE, the number 12 radio, at Comcast.net. Everybody's running for their phones right now.
Dead first ring.
I love him.
And whoever the 5th and 6th email, we're going to send you out a copy. Ray gave me permission several years ago to make copies of these CDs and to give them out as prizes and to share them with people. And I think this is an appropriate time to do so. And
Monty is fair, because years ago, before I was the co-host, I won something off the show. So.
Yes, you did. Yeah. What'd you win?
I won, I believe it was a copy of the original version of the AA book.
Yeah, it was a copy of the first
Bruce
edition.
And Marv signed it.
Yep. Of the AA Big Book, yeah.
So Monty is very fair.
I am fair.
You guys remember that? Wow.
I still have it. It's actually up on my top shelf, so I don't
collecting dust.
Well,
I'm
it's
just
like
kidding. It's kind of
memorabilia.
Memorabilia.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. So be the 5th or 6th email at Take12Radio at Comcast.net and type in there somewhere in the subject box, I want Conley's CD. And make sure you give us all of your contact information. I can't, know. Now, here's the thing. Unfortunately, it has to be within the United States. So if you're listening in the UK or somewhere out of the United States, I can't do it for you. Yeah. It's just way too expensive for us to do that. And we're not in a financial situation to do that right now. So if you live within the United States, please enter to win, and we'll send a CD out to you. Take12Radio at Comcast.net. Well, the title of this CD is also the title of this song. It's the number 1 song on the CD, and it speaks really to Conley's story. If you'd like to hear his full interview with me from 2014, simply go to YouTube and type in Interview with Conley White, Recovery Recording Artist.
I didn't know you did an interview with him. Oh, wow.
Did several, actually.
Nice.
And listen to that. It was around Christmas time in 2014. Actually, it's a video on YouTube. It's when we used to use the camera.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you can listen to the full interview and listen to his music and listen to his story and listen to how this song, Learning to Live Again, came to be. But you got to go to YouTube, type in Interview with Conley White, Recovery Recording Artist, and it'll come up. So this song is entitled Learning to Live Again.
My name is Ray, It's 3 weeks today since I had my last drink. Live and let live, let go and let God. Before you give in, stop and think. Everyone tells me it's gonna get better. If only they'd tell me when. A day at a time, I'm learning to live again. I had a good wife, a wonderful life, but the bottle took it away. Now here I stand, a piece of a man, searching for something to say. And everyone tells me easy does it, but what do I do till then? A day at a time, I'm learning to live again. Learning to open up my heart and say what I feel inside. Learning to laugh at the little things, never forgetting I've cried. That's all I got, so thanks a lot for giving me a chance to share. It's sure good to know there's a place I can go where the people really do care. And everyone tells me just keep coming back and try to hang on till then. A day at a time, I'm learning to live again. A day at a time, I'm learning to live again.
Well, there you have it, Mr. Conley Ray White, our friend and our brother. Conley, thank you for being you. We'll see you soon, man. Until our next broadcast, this is the Monty Man, along with the Take 12 Recovery Radio family, honoring Conley Ray White. And we are wishing God's perfect serenity for you. Bye-bye now.
Good guys, bad boys, we're all the same. Saved by grace is the name of the game. Turn around, hit the ground, time to lay a burden down.
This has been a broadcast of KHLT Recovery Broadcasting.
Cause she's a super cat, she's super kitty, meow.
Yeah, kitty, 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 meow.
Hi there, it's the Monty Man again. Listen, life with COPD can be full of ups and downs. From dealing with your diagnosis to learning to do things differently, it may feel like there's always a new challenge ahead of you. Well, in addition to talking to your healthcare provider, reaching out for support is a great way to help you move forward. You can open up to others about your struggles and successes, educate those close to you about COPD so they have a better understanding, and even connect with others who are also going through life with COPD. You may also learn a few new tricks and tips for coping with COPD. So for help and support, please visit www.copd.com. Thank you.